Hey everybody, Asher here, back with more Stellaris, where we have some interesting new developments. We have the Natraxi homeworlds. We actually have a fallen empire right next to our door on our map. They're enigmatic observers, so they are xenophiles. They like other aliens. They greeted us, they know who we are, and they live on Cradle, which is a Gaia world from the looks of it, and they don't want us to enslave other species or purge other species. So if we decide to go the robot army route, which we won't because we're fanatic spiritualist, and the robots will become self-aware and hate themselves, we won't do that. On the other side of the spectrum, we have a new mollusk species that also likes Arctic worlds from the look of it, and they have 1 planet, 9 pops. They are wary of us, but they've just reached out into space and have claimed this whole area as a homeworld, except for this Gaia world, which I'm trying to get to. And we'll cut into their space a little bit. Now, if you look at it one more time, their fleet strength is way stronger than us. That's because I accidentally killed my fleet, probably while exploring down there on accident. So, got to be careful of that. We're going to go ahead and get started, though. We have an unidentified empire warping through space. The betas, as it were. Let's see if we can find out who they are, because we have all kinds of special projects. Some of them are expiring very, very, very fast. Wow. Okay, well, a lot of those are just parts from blown up mining drones, so I'm actually not too concerned about that. Do we not have... Okay, let's just go ahead and do all these now. Void Cloud, repairing the automated shipyard. Once those debris clear off the list, we should be a little bit better. Alright, so... what are we going to do? We got some construction ships. We got some science ships. I'm really hoping that this science ship will be able to go around. It looks like it's going to make the longest jump possible, but I don't think that's really the case. But it's trying. It's got 38 move orders. And is this technically in fallen... Oh crap. Alright, so we officially can't go that way unless we, like, colonize or drop something here. So let's go ahead and survey this system. That'll do. Now we're going to crank up the speed here a little bit. The next part of this game, the next phase of this game, from the looks of it, is going to be to see who we have down here. Now, the Setgens may want to end up, or the Sagittari, I can't really pronounce that very well, but they may end up wanting to be a vassal with us. So crystalline entities are unbreakable. I think I've already gone over this before, but we can read it here. So the crystalline entities name themselves a compromise between rival factions. Xenobiologists and xenogeologists on Hythea are most definitely alive. Some overly conservative members of the Ashen academic elite argue that they are silicate animate matter and that they have little in common with biological life. The vast majority of the collectivist populace reject that regressive perspective instead, turning their eyes towards the fascinating new horizons that the crystalline entities represent. They are somewhat regrettably solitary beings, each individual crystal sovereign, rarely seen with more than one sentinel and a smaller cohort entity. Aside from the cohort and the sentinel clearly being subservient to the sovereign, the subtle nuances of the crystalline entities' socio-hierarchical relationships are lost on us, which does not stop the dynamic from being subject to fervent study on Hythea. The entities do not seem to mate, and we have yet to observe any crystals that are recognizably older or younger than the others. Contrary to an early hypothesis, the shifts in hue between the individual entities seem to be related not to their age but to their latent internal charge, which can be violently unleashed. It appears as if sporadic fluctuations of this charge alter the refractive properties of the crystal. So we can find some practical use. Adds crystal sonar modifier, and we can use 30 energy to instantly survey. And we have Void Unclouded. Void clouds are stewards of the cosmos. Once astronomers knew what to look for, they found traces of void clouds everywhere. Formed at the dawn of creation, they stood watch as the stars were young and the planets formed. Now they drift quasi-conscious. Oh god, that's a word I haven't seen in a long time. Agglomerations of inanimate matter from the earliest hours of time itself afloat between dying stars and breaking words. So humbling. They are a constant reminder that we are small parts of something greater. Look! Grand design modifier giving the following effects. Happiness for everybody, and I think that's a permanent increase. So let's take a look at that to see. And did that actually cover the aliens as well? Like, we can see our modifiers around here. Grand design, yeah, everyone just gets to be a little bit happier. Right, another anomaly. By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during a survey of this moon. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Is it a distress transponder? Why do we call it a transponder? I don't know, but since we are here, we are officially building something here. And like I said, if I make these guys a vassal, do I need to really give them space? We have a desert world over here. I'd kind of like to get this research. I'd kind of like to get this system. Since we are using hyperlanes, we can't actually see what kind of travel these guys use, unfortunately. I could just crush and kill them. Because right now we are slowly, ever so slowly, building back up our fleets. And these ships are about 100 power per. So I guess the question becomes, do I want to actually do something along the lines of building this up and taking it out or everything? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I could put a frontier outpost down here. We have a few that we don't need to, but the mummified remains of a single individual belonging to a previously unknown mammalian species found drifting in high orbit over Irem VD, or 5D. That being dressed in what appears to be a flight suit complete with a helmet. May have been a fighter pilot that ejected in some ancient battle only to be forgotten left behind. Our study of the corpses provided some interesting datas. So there's society research.
Complete.
We have a lot of...
Construction complete.
Okay, we have construction complete. That's right.
Construction complete.
One thing I was going to do was go through the planets now that I have some minerals available. We'll keep this running because I want to make sure that we have everything here. We didn't entirely go through Schlurg, but we need to get our upgrades. So upgrade the power plant. We don't have energy problems like we used to. We have lots of pops. And we can definitely clear some of these tile blockers now.
System survey complete.
Alright. Do we have a spare science ship? Let's go ahead and get this anomaly out of the way. It's been bugging me that I keep forgetting about it. Alright. And another construction ship. Like I said, one thing that I'm interested in possibly doing is building a... I only have one influence right now. And there are some places where we can actually delete this. Like, we can probably delete this frontier outpost. We have Sol, and it's between these planets now. So let's go ahead and do just that. Bye-bye. Alright, so that should get us a little more influence. We'll see what the border growth does or doesn't do. Alright, we need to get some infrastructure here. Mining structure. So, a light was seen moving in the night sky of Hythea, a gentle arc standing in stark contrast to the slow revolution of the stars. The citizens of Hythea see it as proof of recognition of the powers that be, a subtle blessing of our course. Ooh, interesting. Considering that, at least hypothetically, our fanatic spiritualist people look around the world for something else from within. And maybe what they were thinking of all this time were the observers from the Traxi homeworlds over here this whole time, but who knows. Indeed, and we get Comet Sided modifier for 12 months. 15% happiness. Well, that's fun. Alright, we have some military installations as well. These did not work out like I thought they would. That one's still pretty good. I don't think we need this one, so let's go ahead and disband it. We can definitely upgrade these pretty hard later. Okay, we have another anomaly as well. So where was that? Up here. Oh, up here. Yeah, we gotta build up a fleet. And this time we're not gonna let it die. Let's build some destroyers. We don't need too many more. In fact, we're not gonna get 2 anymore. We'll start with 2. Because I still want to go through, like I said, we gotta go through some checks here. Like, we want to definitely build a power plant. We definitely for sure want to build planetary administration here. This planet's pretty overcrowded. Alright, so let's see here. Basic Science Lab. We're actually, let's see here. How are they doing on food? -1 food. Ugh. I can't really mess with that tile then. So does that mean they're like going to starve and die? Shortage will make them unhappy. Happiness is important. So they're only slightly unhappy. Alright. So once planetary administration is done here, we'll be alright. So let's go ahead and do that too. Let's just get our holdings up front first before we decide where we are going to be expanding everywhere. Although our colony ship's ready, so we'll get to that in a second. Science Officer Alarig has successfully restored power to the automated shipyard. The facility immediately resumed its interrupted construction order, using what materials it had on hand. Unfortunately, the ancient factory facility broke down completely afterwards. So, We have a new ship. It's actually named a new ship. What is this new ship? It's the... I thought that said the Dank Wanderer. That would have been funny. Alright. So it has lasers. It has a large disruptor. So it's using technology that we don't have. That's very fascinating. The one downside, it seems... as if we can actually go to the ship here. Okay, there's a downside. Look, we found it, and it has just appeared in the middle of the galaxy. Bugs. This is the post-release recording version video. Bugs. Alright, well, so much for that. Bye-bye. It's like, oh, look what we found. You found nothing. Alright, well, we're going to send... We don't have a lot for this scientist to do, so let's go ahead. At least survey these border worlds while we're here. Research project here as well. While we still have border access, I could possibly go for an Arctic world that's over here. It's going to be tough to jump here. I think what we're going to need to do is possibly try and vassalize. I mean, I've had some different thoughts for what to do with the population of Sol right now, and we're not doing anything super aggressive with our observation post. But I could give them technologic native enlightenment or covert infiltration and just take them over. Let's look at our policies real quick. Native enlightenment, if it's allowed, we can encourage natives to take their rightful place amongst the galactic community. And they may actually work with us. So do we enlighten the members of Sol? The thing is that if we enlighten them and then allow migration, they may come to us. If they just pop out on their own, it may be something else entirely. It's a tough choice. It's one that I don't have to make today, though. Okay, so tile blockers, biolab. Dense jungle versus mountains. I know we have mountains as an issue. Alright, so shields, plasma thrower, sentient point defense. I think point defense is going to be important enough because that's going to shoot down a lot of things. Alright, science ship. Where are you? You are in Sol and you're done. So we need to research this system. Okay, you're not in Sol. Who's in Sol? Nobody's in Sol. What am I thinking? I think I'm going actually crazy. Uh-oh. Did you guys just expand out west? Colony ship. Here now. Alright, so they have just taken to the stars with a frontier outpost. And we're going to make them very happy in just a second, I think. Alright, now we have a lot of destroyers. We actually lost our admiral, so we need to re-recruit one if we can. And we don't have a lot of influence right now. We have barely just not enough. So Glabonsk, you would have been nice. So you guys are going to expand a little bit and actually take up some of this territory. So what that means is that I need to build a outpost over here, or there's not really anything I can colonize. All right. Let's colonize the one we can get. This is not an awful Gaia world because it doesn't have any tile blockers. But we definitely don't want them to get it. Alright. Construction ship. I don't know if there's anything else we want to build here right now. Like, this should connect some of our borders up here. Alright, so we got a colony over there. We got some other research going. I guess we just fill in our stuff with everything for now. So research, lots of stations. We have a lot of minerals right now. So let's see here. What do we got? Who's visiting us today? Placid Leviathans. Okay. And who can we see here? We can see lots of crystalline entities. We can see lots of other things just coming by. But the important thing is that we have this blob now, so we're going to get some border tension. They're wary of us. We are the Senate Alliance of Holdings. You know what? We don't really want them to be... their fleet power is now inferior because we have a 20 stack. This is why destroyers are good. I'm going to establish an embassy with them, and then we can see if we can make them a protectorate. What's stopping them right now? Base minus 50, wary attitude. Let's establish an embassy. Let's see, how many embassies do I have? We'll find out in a minute. Because I think I should probably establish an embassy with these guys too. They just outright don't like us. Make it brief, Ashen. Our patience for pointless banter is long since really. Okay, they don't like us. If we don't like them, the thing is that they're superior right now. Yeah, but that's mainly because we got to get our stuff back in order. I guess first order of business is just to see. Let's go to Light's End. This would be another fun place to put a research or a frontier outpost, if only because it'll open up this area. This you can actually cut into the borders of a fallen empire without making them too mad. Like, they won't declare war on you, so that's a thing to consider. We've detected the presence of a primitive alien sigillation on Bacagni. They presently what can be considered the late medieval age, with a firm grasp on metallurgy and feudal society. The printing press is accelerating the spread of knowledge. We should consider building an observation post above the world to study them more. Interesting. Alright. So, I'm thinking for Seoul. Because we are in a situation, if you remember reading the description from last time, is that they'll soon be ready to leave their world, but they're currently in a state of war. So we could have a world war situation, which would not be good. Alright, so do we have... We have a war deck. The Ethid Confederacy. That's going to be on the other side of the map. Nope, all the way over here. Okay, so they're crushing other people like bugs. Research time. Amoeba Flagella Continental World. Well, I said I needed to research that. Monthly influence is good too, but we'll get back to that. Anti-metal missiles, ceramo metal armor, cruiser assembly yards, all good. We'll go with the metal armor. I need to get multiple ways to actually defend myself here. Alright, so you elites are still here. We need to build some more things at the spaceport. Okay, thing is that, and I'm going to pause here for just a second, is that I'm not building a lot of Corvettes. I should probably change that. So, how big? Ooh, run, 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 run. We're gonna need to bring reinforcements to take that out. All right. Do you actually have a spaceport yet? I don't think you do. So let's fix that. Alright, so we need our first fleet. We need our first fleet to go, and then too many planets under our direct control. Well, we can fix that pretty easily. How we do that is a question of, do we want to increase the SCOG? Do we want to create a new place entirely? The thing is that because this is a Gaia world and we're pretty early on, I kind of want to micromanage it myself first. On the other hand, this planet's pretty early on too. Ugh. Alright, things to consider. Alright, because we have too many planets, we're going to lose on energy. Okay, where are you exactly? Alright, so that's a pretty good one. Yeah, I think we should just throw it down here. That was one of our problem planets, as it were. So let's see here. This is the SCOG sector. I could be a little more creative with my naming here. And this means if we get some continental places, we can always do it later. But interestingly, that place doesn't have too much resources. So we just increase that a little bit. We're back to 5 and 5. And we almost have borders too, so that's good.
Construction complete.
Alright, so we got a lot of crystalline entities out there. Let's see if we can merge these guys again. So we want to clear the way this way, and we want to be able to take on some of these other places. So we have like Continental World, which actually has 80% habitability, with the caveat Okay, we have a civilization on that world. Oh, it's an Arctic world. Steam Age. Well, we don't just want to take that. We don't want to just hostile takeover. But continental world's not terrible. Because, and I'm only going to do this one more time here. I apologize for going back and forth. We do need to build a spaceport here. I don't know why I'm keeping this paused. We have pops right here that are doing okay with their habitability. They're not super happy because it's a little crowded, but they do have their own independence. So if we build a spaceport here, we can use these pops that actually do settle on continental worlds. And they can take us off. So Governor Ryblog, we get some repeat names here. That's good. So technology research, point defense, very good. Subspace sensors, barrier point defense, improved research assist. That's a lot to pay in for that. But we're not going to be surveying too much longer. I don't feel like. Especially if these guys keep border expanding down here, our time for research is going to be going pretty soon. Alright, so let's go ahead and spaceport. We're going to build a few more things here. A few more things here. And then we should have an alright fleet. It's nice that our fleet capacity is so strong now. I probably need to upgrade my Truth Seekers as well. Plus, I just built those in a place that doesn't actually have borders. Not borders, but doesn't actually have a thing that would make it very nice. Okay, so we can't go there. We can't go there. This is where hyperlanes get a little interesting. Like, if we want to explore down here, we've got to clear this out. Alright.
Construction complete.
So maybe I bring you guys down here first. We got some more research available. Engineer Corps. Once again, not very impressed with that. Autocannon's alright.
Construction complete.
Let's get an engineering facility, though. We need to start thinking about science. Okay, you still are not doing anything weird. Alright, the survey has revealed certain regions of the planet are home to primitive alien proto-civilizations. Our probes show that the Neolithic culture is there, but we have no way to really communicate with them yet. So, this is a tundra world. We can colonize it. Stone Age primitives. So what we would have to do for the Stone Age primitives is go through the whole process here that is outlined right here. And we have no genetic materials remaining. Or actually, that may not be the right menu. I really need to look that up one more time just to make sure. So we do have some promising planets over here. We just don't have a lot of room to expand. Which I guess means we're almost through the first part of the game. Fortunately, we did get a foothold here. Unfortunately, they seem to get one too. So we need these little guys to be willing to help us out. How can we stay in their good graces? They're wary, they're pathetic. We could just stomp them out. But I don't feel like that's the right move. Not with our fellow mollusks. Alright. Let's build an observation post there, why not? It's free stuff. Alright, this time let's watch combat and see if we're about to die. Okay, here's our abominations and shrikes. Okay, and they're coming for us fast. So there's all the torpedoes. You're gone. You should be going here too in a minute. We're still going on fastest, so. Okay, we've encountered some form of alien vessels, the He aliens, until we can learn more. We do have a special project. Let's go ahead and do it now.
Situation log updated.
Alright, so our long-range tracking systems have detected the first launch of an artificial satellite from the surface of Babic Latrix. It's successfully achieved orbit and makes the start of a budding space program initiated by the planet's alien civilization. After taking these first tentative steps in space, we can expect them to launch manned missions and eventually interplanetary expeditions. So where are you guys? Okay. They're on a planet that... Do they know that we've colonized another planet in that system? Oh. What? Okay, Gulantha herd secured. are large, flat herbivores that have internal gas pockets, enabling them to hover a few centimeters above the ground. They move about in herds consisting of a few dozen animals grazing on the moss and lichen that can be found on the windswept plains of Akashma. They are currently hunted by... what? Literally unplayable. Anyway, apex predators, and our biologists of the U's here estimate that they only carry a few hundred herds remain. One of these, consisting of 9 animals, has been successfully collected. So there's more society research. So we got engineering facility done here. Plasma thruster, advanced railgun. I do like advanced railgun. But these weapons are more powerful and accurate than their predecessors. I think we're going to go for armor torpedoes are pretty good too. I think we need to upgrade our thrusters though. Being able to move pretty fast would be very nice. So let's see. We're just about at time. We probably got a few more minutes though, so let's see. So science up here. We can survey down here. I do want to survey over here. We're going to send you guys all the way back up to Naiji. And let's see, what else can we do here for our space? We're after successfully translating the language, we have established communications with the Zakran United Stars. Excellent. Hello. Oh, look, you look so fun. Greetings from the United Stars. We are a democratic nation. We greet you as one. Because we are one. Alright, so once we get all this together, then hopefully this fleet will be enough to actually take on everything else. Once again, the pathing here is just really interesting to me. So we have all of our people moving around. We need a frontier outpost like right around here. That should secure these borders. Unfortunately, we are a ways away from actually getting a frontier outpost. So there's a new world type. Biolab, habitability, tile blockers. If we get continental worlds, we'll want to do that. I think it's time we start possibly building some biolabs too. As nice as... we haven't done a lot of landing on places that we shouldn't be landing on. So here's this. Alright. You need a spaceport. Reason you want spaceport for some of these early places is so that they can build all the good things. So we want some more energy. We're doing better on energy now, even with our standing army here. So hopefully we can get some good resources here. I don't mind that. Like, high habitability means that's going to fill out pretty fast. So 1 construction ship's down here. Double science ships down here. We have more ancient mining drones up here, so that's a little unfortunate. Let's see what we can get here. Hopefully we don't have to recall our 1 stack fleet right away. But we're going to see if we can pop open Light's End. Like I said, we have some good places for some frontier outposts. And because we have colonizations, like now we can get Spectrum as well, which is a continental world. With 21 places and 80 habitability, that's actually really good. But that's the Othethi that need to colonize it. So that'll be interesting. Alright, we have 41 ships. This better be enough. Alright, so what sector do you want you at? I'm going to have to go off camera and just double check and see just what systems we have. Because right now we have a lot. And that's barely in our borders. And we're going to keep you down here. Let's see here. Where are you? Alright, we do want to keep a construction ship over here. Because this is where our next frontier outpost is. That's going to stop some expansion. We can also potentially colonize a place. There's significant scarring on the surface of the world pattern that cannot be natural. So let's find out what that is. Like, we have a potential world here. 13's not great. So we may need to start getting some colonists from the now overtaken states. Alright, so colony ship. We have all the Othethi here. We could do spiritualist, collectivist. Yeah, that seems fine. They prefer continental places. Let's do 2. And we may need to make a... we may need to upgrade some of these things here, but let's go ahead and get solar panels. Alright, so last part of the episode, because we're right at the 30-minute mark. But I promised I'd do this, so we'll make this go a few minutes over. If y'all are sticking around through this long in the series, I do appreciate it, and I hope you don't mind me taking some time. We got a pretty big stack here. I want to see how these guys do as we get the autosave going right now. We got a few more things building, so we have a lot of means for actually putting out stuff, and we're barely at fleet capacity. So alien writing will give us more things here. Massive script covers a large portion of the planet's upper atmosphere and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. It's a comedy. Alright. So what do we got here? These are lights. This is Lights End, the black hole. And that's an abyssal host. What do we know about abyssal hosts? Aha! Our ship scanners can make no sense of this vessel. Well, we'll find out in a second. Alright. Research as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to find out real quick if we're about to get ripped to shreds. Because right now our kinetic weapons are doing absolutely nothing. Okay, good. So our torpedoes are doing absolutely nothing. It looks like, excuse me, our kinetic weapons are down here. So, interesting. Automated shipyard. We'll get to that in a little bit. I'm sorry. Whoa, we're getting a little wrecked. Fortunately, so are the void clouds. Nice. Alright, so let's send you all to repair. That wasn't so bad. We definitely need to study these, though. I have a feeling that could be really good. Especially given some things in the future. So that's really interesting in a way. That from our home world, we have Hythea, Sol, Lights End, which is a black hole, going straight to this empire. Is it a sign? I don't know for sure. Maybe we can find out later in the days to come. But here's the map one more time. We're slowly filling up space. But that's it for now. This is Asher. Hope you enjoyed it. I didn't kill my whole fleet this time, just being negligent, so that's a plus. Thanks for watching. We'll do this again in the future. Take care.